Hello and welcome. So today we're going to be talking about a potential solution for paralysis. So, you know, usually the brain is connected to the hand muscles by the spinal cord. And sometimes some people, unfortunately, they develop some spinal cord injury. So this connection is cut. So um, researchers in this article are considering creating an alternative pathway to bypass this issue and for the patient to use his muscles back again. So how is this is done is by here we have the central sulcus, and we have here the motor area, and we have here the sensory area. So one thing that can be done is by implanting these chips. They are 8 by 8, 64 pins electrodes, and they are put in the primary motor area and the hand area. So these work as an output for electricity. They get their electricity reading out of the brain, and they conduct them through these electrical wires to the individual nerves in the patient hand. So in this article, they're using two output chips, and they're using 8 input chips to 8 different nerves. So for example, here we have the radial nerve, a cuff, or electrode, or chip, or whatever you want to call it, and it's surrounding the radial nerve. And each of these input electrodes, they are composed of 16 pins or channels, as you can see here. And each of these channels can be stimulated separately, which can result in separate stimulation of different fascicles within the same nerve. And also, yeah, they also noted that stimulating each different fascicles stimulates different muscle fibers within the hand. So for example, you can see here is channel 1. If you stimulate just channel 1, the first muscle group that gonna be stimulated is for the fingers. And if you give it more electricity, the supinator muscle of the forearm is gonna be included, and so on. If And this also goes for the channels at the bottom. You start here, and then you add muscles when you give more electricity. Um, and On the other hand, here we have two input electrodes to the sensory areas of the brain. So if you provide electricity to this input and to these electrodes, and these electrodes transfer these to the brain, the patient is gonna feel sensations in his fingertips, without actually having an actual stimuli on his fingers. Uh, so, and by the way, so this method can only be applied if we have an upper motor neuron lesion, like for example a spinal cord injury. So this method cannot be applied if we have a lower motor neuron injury, like a peripheral nerve injury, because the muscles are gonna be atrophied by then, and then we can't apply this method. Another limitation for this method is that we can't apply it if we have a parenchymal brain lesion, like for example a stroke or a neurodegeneration, because we need these nerves to be functioning well in order for these electrodes to be able to deliver electricity for these nerves. Thank you so much.